Hey, I'm Hunt, and this is Hunt on LSU, your channel for LSU Fighting Tiger football talk. Enjoy the video. We want you to leave a comment below, hit that like button, and subscribe right below the video. Enjoy.
Meet the Freshmen. Freshmen, meet the Freshmen. They're the newest Tigers on the team.
Uh-oh. Cranky Hunt's going to come out here.
Why is that?
Because Cassie's put together a great graphic here that's on the screen if you're watching on YouTube, and it's got all the freshmen that we're going to talk about, and it's perfectly pertinent. And it's not her fault that every time these kids come on their official visit and do the photo shoot, they go white helmets, white jersey, white pants.
No.
Every single time.
Nobody
wants to put on the classic threads.
Why do you think they do that, Hunt?
Because they think it looks cooler, and they're wrong.
Okay.
I'm right.
Maybe you
The guy who wears a polo shirt and
Hunt.
khakis every day, like Jake from State Farm, knows fashion and knows that these aren't as good as the normal uniforms.
You literally just said why you don't know fashion by what you wear.
That was the point.
Okay.
Put on the classics. All right, we're talking about the freshmen. Two more today as we started this yesterday. And two guys that I think could factor in this year, if not in the opener against USC, I think as time goes on because they are very, very talented young men. The first is Trey'Dez Green. Trey'Dez Green is 6'6". He weighs 230 pounds. He was a great high school basketball player. He is a matchup nightmare for defenses. Linebackers are not going to be athletic or tall enough. Corners aren't going to be big enough. Safeties aren't going to, generally speaking, jump. It's just not there's not a lot of defenders that can go with him athletically. He was the number 32 player nationally by On3, the number 2 tight end in the country, number 2 player in the state of Louisiana. He's a 5-star by On3, 4-star by the other services. It's hard not to see Trey'Dez Green being a super productive college football player. It's hard. Now, here's the deal. We know that Brian Kelly prioritizes tight ends. We know that LSU has a potential first-team all-league tight end in Mason Taylor. Brock Bowers is gone. Mason Taylor is as accomplished a tight end as there is in the SEC. He's going to get most of the snaps. You brought in Mac Markway and Kamorian Pimpton last year. Markway, big, physical, probably a better blocker at this point than Trey'Dez Green is. And Pimpton is kind of out of the same cloth. He's another 6'6", long arm, good athlete, tough matchup. I don't know how big a difference there is athletically between Trey'Dez Green and Kamorian Pimpton. I would suggest there is some. The Trey'Dez Green is a better athlete than Pimpton. But Pimpton's got really long arms, and we saw him last year in camp make some really impressive plays in one-on-one drills going up and high-pointing footballs. Either way, there's an embarrassment of riches at tight end where when Brian Kelly got here 3 years ago, there were basically no tight ends. Cole Taylor was gone. Mason Taylor was coming in. He was a 3-star freshman. All of a sudden, he's starting. They're trying to move Jack Mashburn down there. It was a mess. And now it's really, really good. I don't know how good Trey'Dez Green is. It would not shock me if Trey'Dez Green played red zone snaps against USC. It would not shock me. It would not shock me if he didn't see a snap in September. That's how big a dearth I see in potential here with Trey'Dez Green because of his talent and the depth that LSU's got at that position. If you want to tell me that Mason Taylor's taking all those snaps and Mac Markway's coming in as an extra blocker, I got you. If you want to tell me Trey'Dez Green has to play because nobody can cover him at that position, I'd hear that too. I'm very curious to see how this works out. I think he's got an amazing future at LSU. I just don't know how quickly that ramps up. I'm fascinated to see what he looks like in the pads tomorrow. The second freshman that we're going to talk about today and meet the freshman is Gabriel Reliford. Gabriel Reliford from Shreveport, Evangel product. Shout out Jacob Hester. Shout out Hunt Palmer, Shreveport folks. Gabe Reliford, 6'2", 260 pounds, edge player, former Texas A&M commit. They lose Coach Robinson, Elijah Robinson. He moves on and goes to Syracuse. He reopens his recruitment. He ends up at LSU. He was the number 202 player nationally, number 18 defensive lineman, number 7 player in the state of Louisiana. But his tape is really good. Talk to Shea Dixon from On3 about Gabriel Reliford. He absolutely gushes over Gabriel Reliford and thinks that this is one of the biggest signees that LSU got in this class. He was an early enrollee, which I think is really good. He showed up here in December and enrolled in school in January and has been in the weight program and through the summer conditioning program. And I keep saying this, but like young players are further along today than they were 15, 20 years ago. Like a lot of them come in pretty ready to contribute. And again, I think Gabe Reliford has some guys that are in front of him. He can wait on Braden Swinson and Savion Jones and Deshaun Womack, and those are the proven guys. But inevitably there are injuries, and on the defensive front, you need depth and you need to rotate some guys in. And I'm not here to tell you that on the edge and pass rushing situations that Gabe Reliford is not ready to help a little bit. Now, 75 snaps, holding up against offensive tackles and playing the run, he may have some work to do there. And that's where Swinson and Savion Jones at 295 pounds and Deshaun Womack come in. They're more ready than him for that, I would imagine. But this is a supremely talented young man at a position group that's looking for a spark. And I would be surprised if he played a lot against USC. I would not be surprised if he played a lot against Oklahoma. That's the last game of the year. Like, I think there's a progression here where Gabe Reliford works his way towards the field. I'm being careful this year with freshmen and young players. And we'll talk about Caleb Jackson at some point during camp, and I'll give you my diatribe on, like, everyone's going to be clamoring for Caleb Jackson to get a ton of carries, and Josh Williams is going to get far more because that's just the way that things work. But I do think that these two guys, Trey'Dez Green and Gabe Reliford, have a chance to impact this team. Not first team All-SEC, maybe freshman team. Not, the starter from week one, but I think they can help. They appear to me to be guys that are destined for really, really good things in Baton Rouge. Two in-state guys, two guys at positions where there are older players who have a lot more proven than them, but I think can absolutely help. So that's your look at Trey'Dez Green and Gabe Reliford, your two freshmen for today. That is 4 down and plenty to go. We did Juwan Johnson and Jelani Watkins yesterday. A lot of speed, a lot of potential in the two guys today. Tomorrow, we'll talk about a couple of secondary players in Joel Rogers and P.J. Woodland. I'll get a chance to see them before we actually talk about them on tomorrow's show. We'll talk about two freshmen every day until the 15th of August when we have run through them all. That'll be Xavier Atkins and Don McKinley the last day. So save maybe the best for last there. Hey, thanks for watching Hunt on LSU. Before you get out of here, do us a couple of favors. Hit that like button, leave your comments below, and subscribe to the channel for all your Fighting Tiger football talk. See you next time.